These moments are always awesome after games when you get to get some inside perspective and you get to hear some mic'd up situations of players interacting with each other. And this one is particularly cool because you get to hear Brock Purdy go up to Jaguars wide receiver Christian Kirk and tell him a story about how he watched him in high school and how he's basically been following his career ever since. Brock Purdy, that is. Take a listen right here at this pretty cool interaction between Brock and Christian Kirk after the game against the Jags.
I went to, I think, the junior, maybe senior year state championship game.
Yeah.
It was at
ASU or was it
down
U of A?
U of A, bro. It went
yeah.
crazy. You had like 6 touchdowns in the first half.
Yeah, bro.
Right?
Yeah.
And so
awesome, man.
to be able to be on the same field as you.
Nah, man. It's been cool to watch your story,
especially being
man.
from Arizona.
Yeah, bro. I've been watching you, man. It's been fun to follow you. So that's the love. You deserve everything that comes your way.
Yeah, me too.
I think it's important to remember that all these players at a certain point were fans as well. And Brock Purdy isn't that old. So just a couple years ago, really not that long ago, he was a college kid. He was a high school kid. Obviously, we made so much about the Patrick Peterson situation where he was taking pictures with Patrick Peterson on the sideline as a high school kid when Pat Pete was playing for the Cardinals. And then week 1 this year, Brock absolutely torches Pat Pete. And it just comes full circle and all those different types of things. Pat Pete was one of Brock's, favorite players growing up. And so this story is really cool just to hear, Brock being in the stands, watching Christian Kirk go off in a high school game and just being like, man, tons of respect for your game. I've been a fan since, we were in Arizona kids, all that different type of stuff. So it's really cool, man. Like Brock is just such a humble dude. And to be able to like share those experiences and just be like, hey man, I watched you in high school. Like really cool to share a field with you in the NFL and living out our dreams and doing all this types of stuff. I think, for players, like we can get a little bit over our skis a little bit and putting pressure on these guys. But at the end of the day, these guys are living out their dreams. They're doing things, getting to play with guys that they used to idolize and look up to. And just it's really cool for Brock, I would say, because this is going to happen to Brock in a couple years. You know, I've been to. I'll give you an example. I went to a Dude Perfect show. If you're not familiar with Dude Perfect, they're like YouTube pioneers. They did the first like trick shot guys. They're huge now. I'm sure you know who Dude Perfect is. But the reason I'm bringing it up, I took my kids to they did an arena show in San Jose. And when they shouted out Brock Purdy's name, the whole place goes crazy. And it's a large majority is kids, right? Brock has really kind of galvanized and, uh, you know, the kids love Brock Purdy is basically what I'm trying to say. So when Brock Purdy's getting old, this is going to be flipped on him. He's going to have people coming up to him eventually that he's going to play that be like, man, I'm a big 49ers fan. I watched you growing up. You being Mr. Irrelevant, inspired me to believe in myself and do all these types of things. So I just think it's a cool situation. I think it's just a peek behind and just a reminder that these guys are, humans, and this is the human element of football. And we get so caught up in numbers and stats and fantasy football points and all those different types of things that sometimes we forget about the people underneath the helmet. And this is just a cool reminder about that whole situation of him looking up to Christian Kirk and appreciating and respecting his game. And, just I love stuff like this. Like this is the football purist inside of me that appreciates this type of content, these types of stories, and this kind of peek behind the curtain. But you guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.